be alone. Stole me at the tone when I show you that side of you. When I say too much, far more than enough. When I carry my side to you, you say the same thing again and again, and it's no. Let it out, let it out. You said the same thing again and again, and it's no. It's alright, let it all out. There is no name for this one. It's back from there is no name.
We both knew you couldn't resist me.
You said the same.
It would be funny if you say those very interesting things at times, wouldn't it?
It's alright, let it all out. You say the same thing again and again, and it's no. It's alright, let it
Good luck with it. It would be funny if this table said interesting things at times, wouldn't it?
No puzzle can resist me.
This is very weird. This is very weird, Pierre. I found some ultra bright and colorful sphere in this village. When I approach it, I start feeling like I'm being transported to a totally surreal world, a blinding world. Rather calm, in which the water can go up the waterfalls. Like these columns of water. Have you seen them too? Compared to the daily grind, it's a rather pleasant world to sink in. It feels quite cold, though. In this dreamlike environment, I walk through Greek and Roman vestige, just like those we saw on our trips before moving to the coast. I have the feeling of being constantly exposed to things that we experienced in the past. It allows me to cling into many memories of our arrival in St. Exil, and all the events that took place before I was left alone here. Strangely, I have the feeling that time no longer passes when I find myself in this alternate world. Am I imagining this? Am I starting to daydream? Am I totally crazy, Pierre?
I want a piece of paper with a joke. What's the worst that can happen when your job is to tie sausages together? Not being able to make ends meet. I've collected all the possible prizes from No-No. He couldn't resist me. Yes! Here we are. I will finally find out what this crypt is hiding from me. Desecrations of tombs and vaults. Everything was true. Badges and clothing stolen from Lacren. The devotees planned to strike a blow and take control of the lighthouse. At the same exact moment, people discovered their sordid staging in the church.
Remember that if you are here with me tonight, it's because it has chosen you too, my most devoted. We have been preparing for months. The direction of our destiny will finally shift. We've done everything the Protector wanted us to do. We offered it the bodies of all those who wronged it. Each family, through generations, has repaid its debt. Their children's turn has come. Tomorrow, and that's a promise, we will finally be able to get in touch with it. Many people will stand in our way, but their efforts will be in vain. Once the village feast is over, when people will discover our messages in the church, we will infiltrate the lighthouse and take over the basement. We know that the Rock-Elcel has equipment to send the message, and we will use it to contact our divinity. Patrick, you will block the front door of the lighthouse so that no one can get out. Hélène, you will help me in the basement. As for the others, you will take care of sending our new offerings. The information that you stole from the ornithologist at the top of the bell tower was decisive. He thought he understood the world by observing the air, without knowing that the truth was hiding at the bottom of our sea. These observations and the offerings we made from the beaches of Saint-Exil allowed me to know where the entity was waiting for us to contact it. Doubt may cross your minds this last night, but be reassured. All our spiritual pains are also our chances of redeeming ourselves. We have reached the point of no return. Tomorrow is our big day. Rest and meet me near the lighthouse at 11 a.m.
This music sheet must be important if she hid it here. It must allow access to information that she kept preciously for herself. Yes, to complete such maps, she most likely found a high vantage point. I understand why the town stopped ordering these. Know what? I will help myself. Generously.
Tu es mon seul ami.
They still had some gas in the tank. They were not ready to stop anytime soon. Too many people have access to this damn bell tower, so the craftsman installed a system for me to block the door. Since I'm the only one who knows about music, you'll all have to go through me. Well, I'm going to need to learn the organ to continue upstairs. If I'm good enough, I'll make a duet with Pierre. atmosphere is incredible. Nothing. That bell is gigantic, but this one won't bring chocolate eggs for Easter anymore. Nothing. This ornithologist had the courage to go upstairs every time? Either you're committed, or you aren't. I really hope to find answers to my questions. No doubt, there was an ornithologist here. There are most likely no better places to study birds in nature. This chair is completely torn up. You spent a lot of time here, didn't you? Compilation of observations on nature and animals. This document is heavy. He's been compiling information for months and months. It will take me some time to study it. Please bring me some answers. I'm so tired. He also left me some kind of nautical maps. That's the sea depth of the village's surroundings. Pages seem to have been torn out of these documents. She must have found a place to send the signal and kept it to herself. I will probably be able to sort through the tapes the spy stole and find out if the lighthouse had any luck recording this thing underwater. With these maps, it will give me the right spot to send that signal. But I need to read through this all first. Bell tower.
Ne m'oublie pas.
I like this new grip. A better hold means faster reloads. I should keep an eye on the time. remember. I found this box one morning in front of our house. It just had MB written on it. I went to the post office to check if it was an error, but they were not the ones who delivered it. I believe that even this world wants to send me a message. I have to fold my laundry before it's too late. I don't have enough of this ammo. It's the same hatch as the one to go to my attic, but this one is not ready to move. Impossible to open. Opening this box didn't feel right. I can't remember why we did it. Pierre felt the same way about it. Pretty unconventional to receive a hazmat suit out of the blue. We left it in the attic, thinking its owner would show himself. But now I know why you didn't, Matthew Banks. Great. More music stuff from Pierre. He had so many cassettes here. At times, I wondered if he wanted to be mummified with the loose tapes. I should keep an eye on the time.
Tu m'aimes? Moi je t'aime.
The documents I found at the top of the bell tower are incredible. It's clear now that the whole cult thing is based on the observations of a very talented ornithologist. This person knew a lot about nature and how to monitor changes happening throughout the region. He made precise observations regarding birds' behavior, and apparently, the tide changed its rhythm. It became unregular and seems to get further and further from its synchronicity with the moon. He also mentioned the fountain's water. Apparently it comes from a very deep source under the ground. He believes the water touches these blue rocks that are responsible for what's happening here. His theory is that something made these rocks resurface because of a mining process happening under the sea. He installed something to stop the water in case it was dangerous for the population, but the snow probably broke it, and that's why it's back. I also found different maps regarding the sea depth at large of St. Exel. He was particularly interested by 3 wide cavities. I took the maps with me, but they are drawn on transparent material. I will need the projector in the basement to display them. Based on his observations, I believe he predicted the location of the water columns? Feels like he knew already that these columns would be there. Or maybe it's just the fact that the birds were attracted by that very spot early on. He had everything under his eyes. But the cult took everything and put it to bad use. And what for? Sending a message to a divinity with the lighthouse equipment? Maybe I could use that equipment too and send a signal to finally know what's hidden down there. If I use the encrypted tape the spy left to spot where the submarine has been in the ornithologist map's region, maybe I can pinpoint a location where to send the signal to? I need to check these tapes and see what I can find.
Let's listen to what the Rorqual cell recorded at the coordinates found by the ornithologist. I'm sure it's just a big fish. Gotcha. One location down.
Un accro de 8 kilos. J'en reviens pas. Big Joe, on est sur le barbecue. Roger, tu vas pas ouvrir tes yeux. Tu vas laisser le pas aujourd'hui. C'était vraiment ma meilleure idée. Tu portes la poisse, mon pote. J'ai attrapé un accro de 8 kilos. J'en reviens pas. Big Joe, rentre. Roger, tu vas pas. Tu vas laisser le pas aujourd'hui. C'était vraiment ma meilleure idée. Tu portes la poisse, mon pote. J'ai attrapé un accro de 8 kilos. J'en reviens pas. Big Joe, rentre. On est sur le barbecue. Tu vas pas prendre tes yeux. Je te laisse au commun aujourd'hui. C'était vraiment la meilleure des idées. Tu portes la poisse, mon pote.
A fisherman? Not really interesting.
Dès que je rentre, on le met sur le barbecue.
Laser is finally operational following the repairs. We sent the first pulse burst at 85 joules minus 1 day. We are getting closer to the residual reflection located above the layer of the whales, the deepest point of the perimeter.
Found you, you damn submarine.
Awaiting confirmation before diving below 350 meters. Transmission 820.
Dolphins! But that doesn't help me much.
C'était vraiment la meilleure des idées. Tu portes la poisse, mon pote. J'ai attrapé un macro de 8 kilos. J'en reviens pas. Dès que je rentre, on le met sur le barbecue. Roger, tu vas pas voir tes yeux. Je te laissais au port aujourd'hui. C'était vraiment la meilleure des idées. Tu portes la poisse, mon pote. J'ai attrapé un...
you were there too.
Has changed coordinates. The ghost ship will soon be within range. Awaiting your orders. Transmission 1043 80.
3 coordinates validated. That should help me pinpoint the location. Let's use these maps on the projector now. I have all the points now. Let's try to make one of these maps fit. Close. There's gotta be a better area. That's it! The first coordinate is when they approached the area and detected something with their instruments. Then, they circled around the ghost ship and sent out a probe which never returned. The last recording was when they decided to go deeper. And something went very wrong. Poor bastards. Let's send a signal over there and see what's under the sea. To the lighthouse.
I remember. It was during the month of September. The weather was still warm and cloudless. It promised to be a beautiful day. I had gone to take out the trash when I saw this big cardboard box lying there in front of the house door. Above were inscribed in bold initials, MB. At the time, I didn't know what those letters stood for. It wasn't until much later that I learned they meant Matthew Banks, the former tenant of the house. So I didn't ask myself any more questions. And went to the post office. It must also be said that it wasn't the first time I had to return a package that didn't belong to me. But this time it was different. When I handed the parcel to the secretary, she replied that she had never seen anything like it, and that she would not take care of it. When I got home, I couldn't help it. I opened the package. Maybe I shouldn't have. A surprise sure was waiting for me inside. This was a kind of Maybe I shouldn't have. A surprise sure was waiting for me inside. This was a kind of scientific suit that was to be used to protect against chemicals and deadly viruses or that kind of ultra-nice things. I was paralyzed, shocked. I wanted to understand. Why did the former tenant need this kind of outfit? For the garden? His work?
Completely locked.
But then what kind of work was it? As soon as he got home, I showed the package to Pierre. He wasn't really comfortable with the idea of this sort of thing hanging in our house either. We relegated it to the attic. It's not as if the place for such an item was in the living room. We thought at the time, maybe Matthew will want to recover what belongs to him.
Wanna be alone. Stormy at the tone. When I show you that side of you. When I say too much, far more than enough. When I carry my side to you. You say the same thing again and again, and it's no. Let it out, let it all out. You said the same thing again and again, and it's no. It's alright, let it all out. There is no name for this one, and it's back for a while. There is no man in this world that I am for a while.
It was the last day before the nightmare set in, and it was all starting so well. We were playing games when suddenly a detonation echoed throughout the fair. Silence fell immediately, and we exchanged worried looks in an endless second. It was at this moment that 2 fighter planes flew over the place. There were no longer any doubts about the danger of the situation. duplicated itself? Where do I shoot now? It duplicated itself? Where do I shoot now? They threw gas to confuse us. With Pierre, we managed to escape amongst the confusion, and we took refuge at our house. Everything else is hazy at this point. They came from everywhere at once to surround us. Some arrived in trucks, others came out of the woods. They surrounded us so that we had no chance of escaping. So, I have to send a signal to something? To someplace unknown? Doesn't sound too scientific, miss. Let's hope I don't end up like a submarine. Doing the same shit the cult did? truth. What? No. What have I done? .42. It's the exact time of the attack. Did I fix it?
To restore some kind of joy and positive atmosphere in the village, the mayor and the villagers gave themselves hearts and souls to maintain the good performance of the festivals and the annual fair. We like that kind of stuff with Pierre, so we went and took a look. Obviously, we weren't the only ones to appreciate. Almost the whole village was there. And to add beauty to the heart, the weather had even joined the party. It was a beautiful day. Ideal for celebrating outdoors. We took advantage of this moment to discuss work and professional future at St. Axel, still a little obscure for us. I was struggling to find a stable job in the area, and Pierre absolutely wanted me to pass this interview for a company that I had contacted. Despite the many discussions we had on the topic, we never managed to come to an agreement. There was therefore only one solution. The final decision will be picked during one of the fair ball games. It was our tightest match, and Pierre had to throw the last ball. My future was in his hands. But when it was time to shoot, a very violent, almost deafening noise rang in our ears. It was 2 fighter planes that were very close to St. Axel, and in particular, the place where the fair was being held. And then after that, nothing. Or more precisely, silence. Everyone had their eyes fixed on the sky. Several seconds after that, there was a muffled sound in the distance. An explosion? I saw concern and panic creeping into the faces of the inhabitants. It was not normal. The planes and now this? What was going on? The silence was again broken by many birds coming out of the trees. The fair was surrounded by a forest, and we couldn't have any idea what was going on there. Thick yellow smoke began to appear. A few tens of seconds later, it already occupied almost entirely the place of the party. Pierre and I were paralyzed, unable to move. I saw some of the people in the fair breathing in the gas and immediately collapsing as if dead. We could only see about 20 meters away, I would say. And among this hubbub, or rather this general panic, I distinguished sounds, voices, which were spoke through walkie-talkies. I couldn't understand, but I managed to hear a sentence. Only one. Grab them all, till the last one. At that time, I saw what seemed to me like dozens and dozens of soldiers coming out of the woods. They were everywhere. They were armed and wore suits that allowed them not to breathe the gas and probably see a little more clearly than us. In a burst of courage, or stupidity, Pierre and I fled as far as possible without looking back. We returned home, knowing that we were trapped. We locked the door, taking one last look at the gas that was already progressing down our street. We were probably not the only ones who managed to escape. It was clear that they weren't going to leave us alone. We then thought of the same thing. We climbed up there top speed, and the box was still neatly stored, as if it was waiting for us. But we both knew on the way up, there was only one suit. Only one mask. Pierre left me no choice. It was so fast. I told him he couldn't do that. I didn't want to. Nothing worked. He made me put on the suit and the mask. I had tears in my eyes. I think he did too. He turned, looked at the window and exclaimed, "I see them." They arrive, and he took me in his arms and we stayed like that. I had the impression that it lasted for hours and just a few seconds. We felt the ground shaking, the furniture lying around vibrating. My eyes fell on Pierre again. He saw that I was terrified and I didn't want to let go of him. He looked at me and he smiled and he said, "Stay with me." Suddenly a kind of white light pierced the room from side to side, revealing us. He looked at me for the last time and whispered, "I love you, Elise." A few minutes later I woke up, at 8 o'clock sharp in the morning. I was lying in my bed. The light, the gas, the soldiers, Pierre. Everything had disappeared. I went outside. I was alone, left completely apart in St. Axel.
They are all back? Pierre! My sky was torn forever. I realized life would never be the same again. And I couldn't bear this alone anymore.